everyone, this is Amanda with Artistic Antics LLC. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making some Grinchy inspired soap just in time for Christmas. This is going to be an easier recipe. It's basically just going to be green soap with a heart going through it because his heart grew 3 sizes that year. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your 10-inch loaf mold, 1 pitcher, preferably a large pitcher like this because we are going to be melting down 2.5 pounds of soap at a time, and this only holds 2 pounds of soap. So I'm just going to use this to make the heart, and then we're going to need our fragrance oil, which is going to be black spruce and anise, our color blocks, green chrome color block, yellow color block, perfect red color block, and then our 3 pounds of goat milk soap, a cutting board, something to cut our soap with, something to stir our soap with, our digital scale, our heart cane mold that's going to go down the center of the soap, and then of course our 99% isopropyl alcohol. Without further ado, let's get started. First things first, we're going to make our heart cane mold. So we're going to cut up half of our perfect red color block and 8 ounces of goat milk soap. This is going to make the heart. These cane molds are really good for making loaf molds, loaf soap, because the design is going to go through all the way through the loaf, and so when you cut into it, it's going to be very equal all the way through. I hope that makes sense. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my pitcher on the digital scale, add my color block, tare it, then we're going to measure out 8 ounces of the soap base. That's about 3.5 ounces. Cut up some more soap. What do you guys like to do for the holidays? What are your guys' holiday traditions? Put them down in the comments and let me know. All right, that is 8 ounces of soap. We're gonna go ahead and microwave this for 30-second intervals, stirring in between. And then while that is going, while that's melting, While that is melting, I'm going to start cutting up the rest of my soap base because we're going to need 3 pounds of our green soap. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my big pitcher on the digital scale and add my yellow and green color blocks. We're using yellow and green color blocks because I want more lime green than this dark forest green. Go ahead and do that for another 30 seconds. And then while that's melting, go ahead and tare that and put in my 3 pounds of goat milk soap. That is almost all the way melted, so we're just going to use our spoon and stir in the rest of the clumps until it is completely melted down. I'm going to actually put this back in the microwave for another 15 seconds. did this right now because we're going to be adding our fragrance oil here. So I'm going to take that out and put that to the side so then I can measure it all evenly. All right, that is completely melted. So we're gonna go ahead and add our fragrance oil. For 8 ounces of goat milk soap, we're gonna add 0.2 ounces of fragrance oil. Perfect, just like that. And then stir, stir, stir that in completely. And then you're going to want to get your cane mold and put it upright. I use this vase because it keeps the cane mold upright, but you can also like set it against your wall or something. But if you don't put it upright, then all the soap's gonna leak out of it. And you also wanna make sure that these seams stay together, because if there's any cracks in the seams, then it's going to leak out of the cracks and you're not going to get your full cane. Grab my isopropyl alcohol and go ahead and pour your red soap into your heart until your heart is completely full. Oops, maybe a little too full. My bad. Got a little spillage, but that's okay, just as long as it doesn't spill out completely. And top it off a little bit. These cane molds are a little bit longer than 10 inches, which is great because we're gonna cut them down to size a little bit later. All right, then we're just going to make the rest of our green soap. Go ahead and tare that so it's at 0. And I've already cut some soap up here, so we're just gonna put the rest of it in there. And then cut up the rest of our 3 pounds of goat milk soap. Try to cut them into small blocks so that they melt evenly in the microwave. The bigger the blocks, the longer it'll take to melt. And then add your yellow and green color blocks. You're gonna want 1 block of yellow and one block of green. Go ahead and just dump that in there. And then, so that's about 6 ounces of goat milk soap. We're going to want 3 pounds, which is 48 ounces. So just keep cutting and measuring until it is 48 ounces. Did I just put in color blocks? And 1 yellow. £1 pound 9 ounces. We're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Whoa, living on a prayer. Wait, can I sing that? No, that's copywritten. Go ahead and almost there. That is 3 pounds. So since there's so much soap, I'm gonna go ahead and melt this down in 1 minute intervals, just so that it melts down a little bit faster. And of course, 1 minute, check it. It's gonna be a lot of 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, until it's all the way melted. It's probably not going to be melted to a point where we can actually stir it until like 3 minutes, and then I'm betting it'll take about 6 minutes to fully melt down. To fully melt down the soap base. I have merch to plug. 1 minute. I want to eat soap merch that comes without these yellow stains. That's soap dye, don't be gross. And I also have Chunky Unky Swirl merch inspired by my Coraline Soap Swirl series. I also have that in a mug. And then I have a beanie that has my logo on it and a hoodie that has my logo on it. All available on my shop, artisticanticsllc.com, if you're interested. 1 more minute. Stay up. Good heart. Okay, that is melted enough to where we can finally start stirring it with our spoon. Our spoon. This is our spoon. Spoon, 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 spoon. Just make sure to break up the chunks and give it a light stir so that the color can start to combine. So that the color can start to combine with the soap base. And then if you're really clever, you can actually get some Grinch face stamps, soap stamps, on Etsy, and I'll put some links in the description. And you can take a hammer and stamp your soap faces with a Grinch face, so it'll kind of make the whole Grinch soap aesthetic come together a lot more cleanly. But I don't have that because it got lost in shipping and I never got it. Alright, just a couple of little chunks. Yikes. Just a couple of little chunks at the bottom, but that's okay because those are gonna... Oh, the yellow didn't melt down all the way. Ew. I'm just gonna stir that in because the heat of the melted soap is going to help the chunks melt down all the way. Stir, stir, stir. And just for comparison, right now the soap is about 144 degrees, so we're gonna need it to cool down another 20 degrees before we pour it. But we can add our fragrance oil now. Let's see, for 3 pounds, it's gonna be 1.2 ounces of fragrance oil. This may be a good time to plug that I'm going to be making videos every day in December. So if you're interested in that, make sure you like this video and subscribe to see all of the videos that I have coming out soon. Double, double, toil and trouble. Fire, burn, and cauldron bubble. What is that from? If you know what that's from, leave it in the comments and you get an A on your English test. And just Shakespeare doesn't count. I want the play. I should name the sand snake. Did I already name the sand snake? What should the sand snake's name be? We can't just keep calling it sand snake. That's not original. Snakey. That's terrible. Sandy. Not any better. Vote on what the sand snake's name should be. It's been in several videos by now. It deserves a name to be part of the Artistic Antics LLC family. I had a play button up there. I'm sure it's fine. That is firm. So go ahead and unmold that and then we'll cut that to size. I love unmolding cane molds. So look at this. It's just satisfying to me. And then you're gonna want a knife. A knife! A knife! No! And just measure out where you should cut the excess of your heart off. Just like that. If it's a little bit bigger, that's actually better because that will help it stay suspended in the middle of the mold. Kind of like that. That's the vibe that we want. Take your isopropyl alcohol, spray, spray, spray your heart down, and we're just going to pour this in and then spray the top to pop any bubbles. Filled it to the top. Murder the bubbles! Perfect. And that is our Grinchy soap. We're gonna go ahead and let that set for 3 hours up to overnight. So I will see you back here with the soap cutting. Welcome back to the soap cutting of my Grinch inspired soap. It does look like we got a couple of bubbles at the top. I'm not sure why that is. We did spray the top with isopropyl alcohol, but maybe they were stuck below the surface and then came up right as the soap was hardening. But anyways, let's unmold this guy and get to cutting it. I love the scent that we used for this soap. It smells so good. And there's the Grinch's heart. So cute. And then like I said earlier, there's enough room on the side here where if you got a stamper, the Grinchy stamper, you would be able to stamp some activated charcoal to make the indentations more noticeable and fill in those areas. But I do not have that today, so we're just gonna cut into it just like this. And I was able to get my silver play button back. It was stuck halfway up my chimney for some reason. Cute! I love it. That is how you make Grinch inspired soap. I hope you guys had fun watching this tutorial. If you liked it, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing one video every day in December, and there's a lot more videos to come, so make sure you stick around. I also sell my soaps. I'm not going to be selling this one because I think it was tampered with, but I am going to make a different Grinch inspired soap, so stick around for that. I also post every day on TikTok, so you can follow me on there if you are interested. You can join my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. That really helps out my small business if you're not able to buy soap. And I will see you guys next time. Bye! I skinned them!